Winners finals, losers finals, grand finals. All right. So if you guys don't know about the LCQ, let me break it down for you, right? Let me break it down. For you guys. What I gotta first break down is that Sam Boy Wonder is a hero for subscribing for 3 months in a row. Thanks very much for the subscription. That's very kind of you. Yeah, Ringe, I remember what you're talking about. So here's the deal. This is the LCQ to qualify into Capcom Cup. Now, there's 31 players already qualified for Capcom Cup, right? 31 players qualified for Capcom Cup. At this point, the LCQ is just about determining who the last seed is. You know, just who's going to be there on the last seed. So Brian F versus Nemo is the winners finals here. And it's a really interesting match to me because I thought that this one would be pretty back and forth. I think that Balrog's fine in this fight. And I really like watching this matchup. So to me, this is the winners finals that I was hoping for personally because I like watching both of these players a lot. And I'd be fine with either of them going into Capcom Cup. Now, Nemo made it really far, man. Yeah, this is one thing about Nemo that he does a lot in his neutral. Like the main thing, so here's what you got to do. When you're watching Nemo's neutral, this is what you have to keep in mind, right? There's a few things about the way he moves that you have to pay attention to. Like he starts the round with backdash, right? Like he just moves away, and I got to move away from hyping up too many Season 3 characters. I'm probably looking forward to Sakura a lot and Cody, because Cody is very handsome. Thanks very much for the 4 months, dude, bro. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Cody. He looks pretty great, honestly. So here's what you need to notice about Nemo's neutral, right? First of all, he dashes a lot. He moves a lot. So what he does in neutral is he backdashes to gain space, then he forward dashes right up into your face. Now the thing is, to make this hard to stop, because if he's just dashing back and forth, it's easier to stop, right? To make this hard to stop, he walks up to like right about here, and he'll start using Fierce. So if Brian F thinks, all right, Nemo's going to dash forward here, I'm going to stick out crouching medium punch or whatever, right? Like a button that has a low, like a, you know, relatively fast whiff, you can buffer it, you know? He's like, all right, I'm going to stick out a hurt box in front of me to catch you. That's when Nemo starts to stick out Fierce and crush counter you. So his neutral is like really built around the give and take, right? The give and take. He's really trying to force you to move. And then once he's like, all right, he's really looking for my dash, and he's going to stick out a button here. That's when he goes for those big crush counter Fierces, right? So Nemo kind of conditions you in that way. So it's up to Brian F not to fall into that too much. So you see backdash, forward dash, and Brian F's not ready to challenge, right? Charge Fierce, he's +5, and then he cancels into the fireball, a second fireball, and dash up again. Look at that. He's already dashed up in Brian's face twice, and Brian hasn't been ready for it. Right? This crush counter, he caught him because he was looking for a button, but it turned out he did tap anyway. But that's the thing about Nemo, right? Lots of dashing around. +2 here, which, yeah, the throw attempt is guaranteed. It's a guaranteed try for a throw afterwards, right? +2 is the magic number in this game for setting up throws. So that's why Brian F backdashes. He predicts the throw, and he gets a little check here. I'm pretty sure Nemo can hit jab there, even on like a fast backdash, but he didn't try it. Oh, we look for a throw again. Damn, Brian with the backdash. He's caught him. Probably keep him standing here given the circumstances on bar. Damn, Nemo is... This is the one thing that surprises me about Nemo. And he does it every single time. I don't know why. I don't know how. But he's +3 here. And Nemo just does knee drop. Like, he has no regard for, first of all, human life. But second of all, for plus frames, right? He actually just does not care at all. Delayed V skill so that Brian can get the juggle. He just hit another button.
Out of there. Plus frames, he's hitting crouching jab.
No, you actually cannot confirm the forward medium punch headbutt. Ricky, you're just doing it. Yeah, you just back off and then do forward medium punch and a headbutt from super far away.
Overhead's a whiff. And no Aegis on deck for Nemo.
You see dashing up again. So now that he's like dashing up a lot, right? He's done what, 3 or 4 dashes in a row, and Brian has to start considering the dashes a lot. Wow, he gets in there. Oh, he's dead. Yeah. EX tackle. You know, Nemo was in that situation where if you look down here at the bar, he's super close to building V-trigger, right? So what he does is he armors up so that on the next special move, right, which is EX tackle, it builds him the V-trigger so he can cancel into it.
Built it from the tackle because of the V skill.
Right, that's what the V skill is about. He used it to build the trigger on that hit. So that's what Nemo was going for. And if Brian was looking at his meter, he probably could have predicted it. Dash up Fierce. Brian's doing a little bit. You see he's already trying to Can you guys hear that helicopter? God, it's so loud. He's already trying to contest the dash a little bit more, right? Back dash, forward dash. And he hits the standing short there, right? He's looking to interrupt dashes now. It doesn't work, and Nemo just puts out the fierce. But now you can see, right, that that's what Brian's looking for. He's trying to stuff the dashes a little more. Oh.
Are not out of the question at all.
He missed the juggle. That's one thing you have to constantly watch. Oh, yeah, Nemo, you cannot let him do this, right? This is exactly what Brian needs to do. He sticks out a fast button. He's got a good button for this. A good bufferable fast button, which is down strong, EX dash punch. A very, very good buffer for him, right? Oh, wake up buttons from Nemo. He didn't trust the meaty. Neutral jump. Maybe he's looking for V reversal there. Or like an EX headbutt. I guess neutral jump beats both. Yeah, buttons. Goes low, and he just takes the V reversal. This is fine. Now Nemo is not going to build mirror. So look at the mid-range game, right? Nemo recognized that Brian is looking for dashing now, right? So he does down short throw. Instead of dashing here, Nemo, well, he does dash. But after the dash, right, Nemo recognizes like, all right, look, in this range, I dashed last time. So instead, he walks up and does forward strong, looking to get buttons. Just to check, right? He's like, look, are you, and he does the low forward too. He's like, are you trying to stick out buttons to stop my dash? If so, like, this is what I'm going to do to stop it, right?
Overhead, and it was
unsafe.
So far away. Nemo, double down jab.
I didn't look at the AE changes that much, no. I'll tell you why. So AE was playable at the event, but I basically never went to that area. Because for me, I was commentating this tournament, and I didn't want to mix myself up at all. I just wanted to focus on this version of Street Fighter, so I didn't have to think about the changes. So if you're Brian here, the adjustment you have to make, you got to interrupt these dashes a little better, right? And that's exactly what he looks for at the start of the round. You can tell that Brian has like this sort of recognition, right? He starts the round, he sees a little bit of movement, he hits short here to try to interrupt, and then he buffers down strong right off the dash, right? You can't let Nemo get away with it. You got to be a little bit more buttonsy. And then when he starts swinging with fierce, that's when you start whiff punishing those buttons. That's sort of the strength of Urian, right? Great movement, and that kind of stuff gets you set up. Like all the strong characters in Street Fighter V have similar strengths in terms of their neutral buttons. Yeah, dash again. Brian's looking for it now. He's looking for the dash a little bit more, which means Nemo has to respect it instead of just dashing in like crazy. Yeah, he does it anyway. It's hard though, because sometimes, yeah, that time he was ready. You see that? So Nemo, instead of dashing in and swinging, he dashes up and blocks because he knows that Brian is doing a little bit better job of checking the dash-ins, right? Didn't I say there was 5 things? There's a handful of things for sure. I can list them out later, but I'm probably going to do a video talking about what I think makes characters strong. But one of them is exactly what Urian has, right? Which is good medium buttons in the mid-range to poke and whiff punish with. And then the strength of having a strong crush counter button that will catch people trying to hit buttons after. Jesus, Nemo does not care. Because think about the mid-range of Street Fighter V like this, right? Think about the mid-range like this. When you're in a range like this, the best characters in the game, characters like Karen, right? She has one of the biggest strengths when it comes to this. She's a great example. Is that in this range, she has really far-ranging medium attacks that are fast, and they have a good hitbox, right? And then she even has stuff like Standing Strong, which is bufferable and has a good hitbox, right? Really fast medium attacks that are good for poking and the fact that they're really quick so they stuff things, and they're really good for confirms because you can buffer them into better, buffer them into special moves and get combo damage. And once you start trying to whiff punish those moves, it's very difficult, right? So she has these really fast medium attacks. They're tough to whiff punish. They make you try to catch them. So what does a character like Urian do to that, right? Like, what's his answer? His answer is not going to be to try to whiff punish, withstand medium punch all the time. It's going to be tough to do that. So what Urian's going to do is say, all right, she's swinging with medium normals. So what I'm going to do is move forward and try to use my fierce to crush counter it, right? Use the heavy button to crush counter it. Now, the strength of someone like Karen is that if you whiff a fierce button, she is going to whiff punish you with low forward, right? She's going to hit you with crouching medium kick and get the Tenko after it. So the neutral game kind of goes like that, right? Heavy buttons will beat medium normals if they collide on the same frame, but heavy normals have a longer whiff recovery, so they're easier to whiff punish. So when you hit a heavy normal, you're risking getting whiff punished, but for a bigger reward if you happen to crush the medium button. And the medium button is faster and quicker, and it's going to stuff a lot of different things. In the neutral, you just don't want to hit a heavy button. So it's kind of like that back and forth about which button you're choosing to use and why in which situation. And that's kind of how Nemo plays the neutral, right? That's like what he's looking for all the time. He's got these fast medium buttons that he pokes with, and then he uses his... Jesus, he's so good at this. He uses his dash to move around the screen a lot, and then once you're starting to hit buttons to try to stop the dash, the buttons you hit to stop a dash are light and medium buttons, and that means that his Fierce will catch you every time. Right? Damn, the jump over. Brian F could still win this. Oh, the fireball. That's one thing that he does too. The mid-range fireballs will catch you when you're trying to poke his dashes. This time he knee drops in again. You see Brian hitting a button. He's looking for he has to watch the dash, right? That's one of the most important things. I have to watch Tofu Monkey, who just subscribed with that $4.99. Thanks very much for the subscription. He's got to hit buttons right there. You see Brian keep buffering down jab or down strong because he wants to interrupt the dash. And now that Nemo sees that he's going for that, he can start to hit that Fierce a little bit more liberally. He can start to use some of his buttons a little bit better. Damn, his crouching Fierce lost. Alright, takes the risk on headbutt. He still has a lot of stun. Yeah, even though he got out of there, still a decent amount of stun. Punish. This is so slick from Nemo. He gets the side switch here, but Balrog is so big that when he sandwiches him between the mirror, his hurt box is actually... He gets put in block stun because the mirror is so wide. If that's a skinnier character, this might not happen, right? Depending on the spacing. That's one thing to think about. But look at it. Let's start back with this punish, right? So Nemo does the X headbutt. He gets him out of there. He builds the V-trigger right here. So you see him jump back, backdash, and he wants this range to throw the fireball because if Brian jumps, Nemo gets a guaranteed Aegis. If he V-skills through, he can activate the Aegis as well and get the punish, right? While he's recovering from the spin. He does charge Fierce, bounce back, and he knows he has the spacing to whiff the headbutt and still get the second down Fierce. So that was pretty good. Towards strong again, yeah. Look, he tries to sandwich Balrog here, but because of the block stun, the throw doesn't work, and he ends up frame trapping Brian anyway.
He went for the throw.
That was the big body saved him right there. The big body
Nemo's defense. Here's the thing about Nemo's. Oh, he's dead as hell. Nemo's defense doesn't. I don't know if improve is the right word. The thing about Nemo is that the strength of his defense is that he goes wild, and so he's so hard to predict and so hard to stop. You know. So we're at one apiece. Like, Nemo was the guy in that match against Yoshi, the Dominican Republic Akuma player. There it is, buffer. He hit a button after EX Red Fireball like 3 times. EX Red Fireball is +8, right? It's +8, and he was hitting buttons after. You know, it's crazy. He did light punch headbutt once. It's like crazy. So look at this situation in neutral, right? Right, Nemo dashes, he gets stuffed. Brian is hitting buttons here to stop the dash. And this is when you see Nemo adjust his game plan slightly. So what does he do here? He sees Brian stick out 3 buttons in a row to try and stuff dashing. So Nemo recognizes that in the neutral now, Brian is in the mode where he's preemptively hitting buttons, right? He is hitting buttons first. So Nemo can beat that a few ways. One, he walks up and uses crouching medium kick, right? His fast medium button. This is so that Brian can't poke safely all the time with his medium attacks. And then afterwards, he goes to Fierce. Now, Fierce is supposed to beat whatever poke that Brian sticks out here. Brian happens to neutral jump. But you see the idea from Nemo, right? Okay, if you want to stop my dashes, then that's when I'll go to my medium pokes to beat yours, or my Fierce to crush your medium buttons, right? That's what Nemo's looking for. And that's even the same thing here with the forward strong. And this is when he also starts to bring out the fireball a little bit more, because he knows that you're sticking out buttons and the fireball will catch you. See, a lot more pokes, right? Way more pokes. He gets the headbutt. Nice spacing on that. Oh, he stood up into it. That's the worst situation for Brian. If he stayed ducking, he would have actually got a punish there. But yeah, that's the adjustment that Nemo makes in this match, right? More medium buttons here, more heavy buttons, less dashing. He changed the way he's playing the ground game. He gets the spacing on this perfectly, so he can do jab strong, EX fireball. He down charges here, and then he gets the forward medium punch into headbutt. That was good recognition. If he was crouching instead, Nemo would have had to do what's it called? Nemo would have had to do tackle. But yeah, and also because he stood up so late into the headbutt here, I think Nemo was actually plus. It looked like he was plus to me. it hit so late in the active frames, right? You see how it hit at the very end? I'm pretty sure, yeah, he was actually plus.
What the stun afterwards, Nemo.
Check out my suit. All right, man.
Rough. That's a rough scenario for Brian. He stood up so late that he got hit by like the last active frame of the headbutt. And mediast of media headbutts, not what you want to deal with. Oh, he got a misinput there, I think.
The mad scientist.
All right, more medium pokes in the neutral from Nemo. He has a dash there. And yeah, again, he's dashing in a little bit more now. He's represented a lot of these buttons, and so it makes Brian want to slow down, right? It makes him want to start,
No punish on that V skill. He's got the armor.
like, kind of like, you know,
Now jumping.
stopping his pokes. And when he stops poking, then Nemo can safely move in a little bit better. Oh.
Didn't get the rest of the combo.
Now, we're on the LCQ. We haven't started with the main tournament yet. No punish from Brian. I don't know if Balrog has a medium that reaches. That's 6 frames.
Counter. Uh-oh.
Maybe down strong, maybe, but probably not all ranges. Oh, he frame trapped him with it. Overhead. That's +8, so it's a safe activation. The only thing that it loses to there is Nemo waking up with the X headbutt.
Sway in real
Yeah,
life.
he had the actual sway.
That tap. That was quite the tap. I feel like it
How do you do that? Forward medium punch into headbutt. So here's what you do. If you're Nemo, you're down backing. Then, so here's the notation. It's down back. Then you go neutral, so you let go of the stick. Then you do forward plus medium punch. So forward and MP. Then you do up forward and heavy punch, right? So that's the notation. It's down back, and then you go neutral. Then you go forward plus medium punch, then up forward plus heavy punch, right? That's the notation for it. It just takes practice.
checking him with that jab strong after. Okay, raw
That was actually a missed buffer that from Nemo. He didn't mean to do that tackle, but he got lucky. Counter hit combo. That's what he does off the dash, right? Down short.
Backdash in a whip punish.
Ooh, and a strong. Takes the V skill build. That's unfortunate for Brian, right? Like he got the crush counter here from Nemo waking up buttons, like, you know, usual. And he gets the target combo here, but it doesn't quite build the V trigger. He's super close. So at this point, he could have just gone for V skill overhead into V trigger.
like kind of a kill.
He can't spin through.
Don't
Yeah,
jump.
if he spins through or if he jumps, he would have got Aegis there. Throw. He gets a meaty headbutt here.
No, he goes
Yeah, again, meaty headbutt. Brian knows about it. He blocks it.
with the block. Oh, uppers under it.
He's got CA on deck as well. Ugh, he tried to poke. It wasn't a back throw, so that's good for Brian here. He wins with 1 buffer. Anti-air. That's a bad trade.
Activate. What's gonna happen? Full CA on the table. Oh, the knee to get out. Tries to go for the
Man, if he got that, he could have done like jab screw upper into CA right there. He could have got a better punish. He is dead.
Oh, that crush counter, baby. That glass broke.
And the way he grabbed his face, he's like, son of a bitch.
Got into that movement.
Nemo is one of those guys where if you delay your button by a frame, he will always jab.
Nemo has a lot of water.
Right,
though.
he'll
You gotta-
always jab. So Brian's catching him with the heavy kick when Nemo's hitting those delayed buttons on
You
defense.
saw when Nemo had
He always doing something on defense. The only problem for man, Nemo's recognized some smart stuff here. The only problem Brian's gonna run into is when he crush counters him with roundhouse and it's out of the air, right? Balrog doesn't have a great juggle there. And you're gonna hit Urian out of the air a lot because they reversal headbutt because it's throw invincible. Counter poking on the ground. Nemo is now like recognizing that there's more counter pokes and he's using his own normals a little bit more. Right, that's what the Charge Fierce is about, and the Fireball too. The Fireball beats people, what's it called? Trying to poke your dashes.
He's starting out
Nice
with a lot of fire in this
anti-air.
round already, right? Playing real fast.
He knows now.
Nemo had a good whip punish there. Again, yeah, if you delay your jab, Nemo will always hit a button. Or if you delay your button, Nemo will always hit a jab.
Come back, and that was an example.
Oh, he stuffed it! Wow, he almost got the combo.
That was so sick. He had that standing medium punch.
He wasn't ready for the anti-air, but he takes the V reversal. Brian has a decent chance here with no Aegis. Wow, that's how he feels. He read the low.
Brian F is spinning to go for the low. You can check that, and that's exactly.
If he went overhead, he could have frame trapped him. Or if he went V-skill punch, yeah, buffer again. Don't let him dash in. I like the way Brian's playing the neutral. I think he's doing a good job of stuffing a lot of the stuff that Nemo's going for. I like the jab check there too. Yeah, exactly. Don't let him dash in for free.
really good against Nemo. He likes to dash
Oh.
in a lot.
He likes to dash a lot.
You like the dash?
He just dashes right in and pops him.
There's too many buttons here, though. I think this is the problem. This is the one problem he's going to run into is when there's too many preemptive buttons, right? Down strong. There's down strong again. Standing fierce. That gets dangerous because then Nemo has an opportunity to whiff punish you with his own fierce or crush counter you.
That makes him a
Oh, he tried to anti-air. Yeah, good check. Brian F did a lot of that. Oh, he's got a lot of damage. Close to stun. He can go for instant overhead. No, he went low. Yeah, he faked them. Oh god, Nemo was like, he would have got hit by that instant overhead. That's the thing, right? Nemo would have gotten hit by instant overhead if that's what Brian went for. Because I think he maybe wasn't thinking about it, but if Brian had just done instant overhead, it would have got him.
We went low instead of the instant overhead.
Yeah, commentary Sajam is on. He's fucking past Sajam steals all my shit, honestly. What is future Sajam supposed to say if past Sajam is taking all my lines?
Sit down, Eli. It ain't that serious, man.
It's not over yet.
Yes, it is.
It is not over yet.
I know you support it. He rocking the American flag hat. You know what? You know who he wants to win.
Singing the national anthem between every round. Don't give that man a
Look, Nemo hitting reversal jab when he's +8 is fine, but don't let me catch Mena doing a bullhorn, alright? If I ever see that guy bullhorn, he's random, bro. That's funny. Yeah, stuff those dashes. Don't let him dash in there. Now there's more mid-range pokes. Again, this is how the neutral develops, right? Nemo conditions Brian to hit buttons by... That was a good whiff punish attempt, actually. Nemo, convinces him to hit buttons because he's dashing so much. Then Brian goes to preemptive pokes, and that's when Nemo brings out his own buttons, right? He's like, all right, look, you're going to hit buttons to try to stop my dash. Damn, that was a nice pickup. Damn, it's fucking past Sajam's talking about the same shit. At least I beat him to the punch this time. Yeah, tapped overhead. That was slick. There's no way to be ready for that. Yeah, Nemo's out of there. He didn't want anything to do with it. He's got Aegis. Guarantee the activation. And he's probably dead because of the optimization here. No, it's close. Yeah, close mirror. Tap roundhouse. This is actually one of the strongest things Nemo did in the entire tournament, right? One of the strongest things that Nemo was doing. This beats a lot of options. Many people probably... You won't probably think about it. It's not overhead, but walk up, tap roundhouse beats a few things. First of all, if you try to jump out of there, tap roundhouse will beat that. If you try to throw attack, tap roundhouse beats that. If you try to hit a button, tap roundhouse pulls Urian back, so it's hard for him to combo off, or it's hard to him to get hit there. So this is really strong. Tap roundhouse is one of the best things you can do in the corner. It beats so many things. Yeah, trading on those dashes. Don't allow him. There's a whiff punish from Brian. When he has bar, he can always do that. Yeah, that's not an easy punish for Urian when it's like that. Yeah, double down fierce. Uh-huh. Yeah, whiff punish. Let's Nemo. Good block. Oh, he tried again to walk up down strong. He's gonna get a grip. That was a great anti-air. Oh, he's not dead. Oh, I think he tried to super. I'm not actually sure what he even tried there. I am sure that 10,000 gave me the 1 yen. Thanks very much. He got the heavy dash punch there. I wonder if that was a V reversal. Probably, right? Or it was a super attempt gone wrong. I don't know. Got to have been a critical art, I guess, right? I got to imagine that was like super. It had to have been, right?